Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the worst pay-per-view I ordered, the Great American Bash of '06. I do not remember that, so that means it must be trash. If I don't remember it, it's got to be trash. So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
In this day and age, WWE PLEs have never been easier to watch. From Peacock to Netflix to the network, since 2014, pay-per-views, PLEs, TT, whatever you want to call them, have been super affordable and accessible. But back in my day, since I'm an unk now, let's just say times were rough. Mom, can I order the Royal Rumble, please? It's only 34. Fuck! Prior to 2014, when the WWE held a pay-per-view every single month featuring all the best and most exciting matches you actually wanted to watch, you had to pay anywhere between $30 to $40 every single time.
Yep.
Meaning if you wanted to watch every single pay-per-view of the year, you had to shell out around $400. Yeah, that wasn't happening in my house. In my immigrant household, I was lucky enough to order maybe 2 to 3 pay-per-views a year, which even that was a miracle after what I did in 2004. So in the case I was able to order a pay-per-view, it was a pretty big deal in my household. It was an investment, it was special. You had to be super careful of what show you chose. Because as a kid, you want to watch every single pay-per-view, and the propaganda they did on TV, it made it seem like every single pay-per-view was the biggest thing ever. Meanwhile, it's like Over the Limit 2010. But it was important to choose a good show because you didn't want to waste your parents' hard-earned money, you didn't want to waste one of your pay-per-views of the year, and also you never wanted to be in a situation where you order a show, it ends up being mid, and then the next month there's like a classic pay-per-view going down. However, the sad reality is if you ordered pay-per-views in the 2000s and early 2010s, eventually your dumbass was going to end up ordering a stinker, and in my day, I had a fair share of stinkers. But there is one pay-per-view so dog shit, so horrendous, so bad that honestly my parents probably should have disowned me for spending their money on this. Ladies and gentlemen, I was one of the dumbass kids who ordered the Great American Bash 2006.
Damn.
Yeah, I was a horrible son. What do you want from me? The Great American Bash 2006 is no doubt the shittiest, just absolute worst, just horrendous, the most horrendous show I've ever had my parents spend money on. To this day, I feel so bad for ordering this show because I low-key gaslit my parents into getting this for me. This wasn't a show I was excited for or a show that I really wanted or craved. Honestly, this was just a show that I knew my parents would eventually budge on and get it for me. And it's all because of one thing. The main draw for the Great American Bash '06 was the fact that it was going to feature the first ever Punjabi prison match. And just guess what my ethnicity is, boys. As a proud Punjabi, despite the Great Khali not being a reflection on the average Punjabi person whatsoever, I promise you we are not like this creature. Little me in July of '06 thought, hey, why not shoot my shot and see if I can get my parents hyped up about this pay-per-view and maybe they might order it. This was a show that I didn't care about, but a pay-per-view was a pay-per-view, and as a kid you obviously want to watch every single pay-per-view. So in July of '06, for a solid week before the show, I did the whole, oh mom, they have a Punjabi guy now. Kind of. Dad, they're having a match called the Punjabi prison match. Well, weren't you in a Punjabi prison once? I probably even lied to them and told them, oh, the show's in Punjab. And after days of bringing it up every single day, my mom finally surrendered and just said, okay, just shut up, we'll get it. Suddenly this pay-per-view that I didn't care for that much felt like the biggest show of the year, and suddenly your boy was at summer camp flexing that I was ordering this show. So your boy definitely fell for the hype, and then out of nowhere it was like, oh shit, I mean it is Batista's first pay-per-view match in 7 months. Oh man, Rey Mysterio versus King Booker, I can't wait to see Rey retain, and hey, it's The Undertaker on pay-per-view, maybe the Punjabi prison match might be pretty fun. The show was ordered, the whole family was sitting around the TV, it was 8 p.m. Eastern, the pay-per-view FBI warning went down, and ladies and gentlemen, I paid to watch one of the worst pay-per-views of all time.
Damn.
This show fucking sucks. You know what? Screw the sucking. This show was cursed, and not cursed because the match card was what it was. Nah, listen, if there is a god out there, trust me, even he didn't want the show going down. See, for the first hour or so, the show is decent. It is the most typical episode of SmackDown in 2006 you can imagine. Just the issue is, you sadly paid for it. Fireworks are going off, pew pew pew, crowd is hyped as hell. The Punjabi prison match is being promoted like crazy, and it catfishes you. Even now, I'm watching, I'm like, damn, this might be a fun show. They announced the show was live from India.
You know, I've never watched a Punjabi prison match in my life. Never. I've never watched one. Not even the more recent one with Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. I wasn't even watching wrestling around that time, and even I knew that there was a Punjabi prison match going on around this time. I've never watched these, so I don't understand the concept of it. But I heard that they're shit. I heard that they're dog shit. So I never understood the concept or the premise of it ever.
Indianapolis, Indiana, and I remember telling my mom, it's fine, Indiana, India, the same
Fuck Indiana.
shit, right? But for the first hour or so, the show was pretty chill. We get a solid tag team match with the GOAT 2006 SmackDown tag team. We had the Great Khali doing this. I'm sorry, what? We found out that Bobby Lashley wasn't going to be able to compete due to him having elevated enzymes in the liver, so he wasn't medically cleared. Now, I don't know what the hell elevated enzymes in the liver were in 2006, but, it sucks, but better safe than sorry. At least it's just one match getting changed up, right? So, due to elevated enzymes in the liver, we get a weird-ass heel versus heel match for the US title for 13 minutes, which nobody cares about.
And they was beating the fuck out of each other from the last video. Them beating the fuck out of each other. Shit, they was both giving each other CTE for no reason.
I mean, listen to this. It is what it is. We passed the time with a heel versus heel match. We then got Matt Hardy versus Cruiserweight champion Gregory Helms for some reason. Solid little match. Two good friends doing their thing. Can't complain. By the time the match was over, which had absolutely zero stakes, 1 hour of the show had passed, and if you do the math, you basically paid $14 or so for a house show feed. But in my 7-year-old at the time, I was like, hey, it's all good. The first hour was just the pre-show. The real movie's about to start now. Yeah, if only. And it was finally time for the first ever Punjabi prison match. Going into this match, we had no idea what the hell this was gonna look like. Even as someone who was Punjabi, I didn't know they had different prisons in Punjab. No idea what it looks like, no idea what the rules were. All we knew was a Great Khali and the Undertaker were gonna get it on. So before the match starts, it cuts to a backstage segment where the Great Neanderthal is walking around backstage, apparently looking for the Undertaker. Homie, your match starts in 2 minutes. Why are you tweaking? Then out of nowhere, Undertaker pulls up looking like a fashionista, hair all dry, titties out, and the Undertaker and Khali start beefing for no reason whatsoever, just straight up blasting backstage. Then out of nowhere, a new player spawns in the map, and who could it possibly be? Who is a wrestler who just spawns at wrestling shows? Well, it's a big show.
Cut that bitch off! Next caller!
I'm gonna kill myself!
Wow.
I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
The Big Show, of course, because when in doubt, call Paul White. When in doubt, call the Big Show. Big Show and Khali destroy the Undertaker. And this is ECW champion 2006 Walrus Peter Griffin looking as Big Show. He saves the day, and we get the most random team up we had seen. Okay, then you would think the segment is over. Undertaker's gonna go injured into his match. All right, cool, interesting. But nah. Why would we stop there? Teddy Long comes out, and ladies and gentlemen, remember that match that was promoted heavily for weeks? Remember that match we beat over your head? The match we promoted at the press conference on SmackDown? The match we promoted on the pre-show just an hour? The match we promoted when the show started? Yeah, no, it's gonna be the Big Show versus the Undertaker in a Punjabi prison match. Dog, what? Khali starts and boom, there you go. A man from South Carolina and a dead man from Texas. We're gonna have a Punjabi prison match at the Great American Bash 2006. Fuck your storyline, fuck your angles, fuck you, Pav, and your family for ordering this. You're getting the Big Show. Now you're probably wondering, why, dude? Why did they change this on the night of the show? Elevated enzymes in the liver. Yo, what were these freaks doing backstage? See, it turns out Bobby Lashley wasn't the only one sidelined on this show. Nah. Somehow Khali also had elevated enzymes in the liver, so this Neanderthal was also not able to wrestle. So why did they keep promoting it? Oh, and remember that Hardy versus Helms match? Yeah, that was kind of weird and random, right? Yeah, originally it was supposed to be Super Crazy versus Helms. Turns out he also had elevated enzymes in the liver. What were these men doing in the summer of 06? So 3 matches on the pay-per-view get
that is kind of weird.
God forbid we announced that before the show, but now we had a Punjabi prison match without a Punjabi. And when I tell you my parents looked at me like I was the biggest idiot for watching wrestling and paying for this, I'm not lying. That was it. First of all, this was their first time seeing Khali, so they were just like, what is this? Second, he wasn't even wrestling. Third, I made them pay $35 for this. And fourth, we were getting the Big Show instead. Now, I get it. Big Show is 10 times better than Khali. But they couldn't have found someone else.
Exactly.
But don't worry, it was just gonna get worse. Way worse. It was time, boys. The prison was lowered to the ring. Weird Bollywood music started playing. All you hear is ah, ah. Lights are yellow. Cole is all like, "Oh my God, what a structure!" Cole tells everyone the rules of the match. There's 2 cages. The first cage has 4 doors that you can use to exit. Once you call for a door to be open, it is only open for 60 seconds. Okay, you know what? Listen, no one cares. No one cares. You just have to escape both cages to win. Big Show comes out and this guy looks so confused. You can literally see him mouth the word "what the f" as he walks out to the ring. He looks traumatized, he looks worried, and I don't think it's because he's scared of the situation. No, he just knows this is gonna suck. Big Show gets in the ring, and then it was time for The Undertaker. And honestly, jokes aside, did I really care Khali was out as a kid? No, not really. It was whatever. I was just amped to see The Undertaker on pay-per-view. I had hopes for the prison match because, as a kid, a stipulation match is still a stipulation match. But little did I know. Taker's music hits, lights go out, and ladies and gentlemen, the Big Show starts crying. Bro, what the f? Yes, the Big Show stands in the ring, and apparently the Undertaker's entrance is so goddamn beautiful that he literally cries while the Undertaker makes his entrance. You can't make this up. Tears are rolling down his cheeks. The Undertaker is doing his best to look deadly as ever. Meanwhile, Big Show is shivering in his boots. Big Show is terrified, from elevated enzymes in the liver to Big Show crying in the ring. What the hell was this show becoming? Why did I order this? The match starts. Show wipes his tears, and tears start coming out of my eyes at that point. I have probably said this before on this channel, but this is the worst match I've seen in my life. 2006 Big Show moving around like he had cement in his boots, Undertaker doing his best to salvage this, but there is nothing he could have done. Punch, kick, everyone laid down, sweat is pouring all over the ring. Big Show just looks like a hot dog. I don't even know what that means, but he does. Big Show spent 4 minutes choking the Undertaker at one point, and then Show goes for a choke slam, but hey, at least Taker is trying his best, right guys? What was the Big Show doing? Moaning, groaning, and grunting. You know what this match needs? It needs blood. You know what? Maybe if we bleed, the fans they'll like it. It'll be an epic match then, right? Eventually, both men leave the cage, and in a 500 IQ moment from the Big Show, I can't even lie, he throws the Undertaker back in the cage and closes the door. So all he had to do was just climb the second cage and get out of there, and he won the match, and he ends this godforsaken match. But does this man look like he has the energy for that? Homie is about to die from heat exhaustion any second. Big Show tries to climb the cage, but after 3 minutes, Undertaker pulls it like Jack Sparrow in his prime. Taker goes Super Saiyan mode. Everyone is bleeding, and well, look who it is. The great Khali and his elevated enzymes in the liver pull up from the crowd, and it's like, oh, here we go, it's about to go down. Nah, you thought. Undertaker jumps from one cage to another, lands on the Big Show, the second cage breaks, and the Undertaker is declared the winner. Now tell me guys, how the hell did the Undertaker win if Big Show's fat ass landed on the ground first? Big Show is literally out the cage first, but nah, we're sorry, Undertaker wins, GG. Yo, what is going on now? I don't blame him. Just end the match, do whatever you can, but they couldn't have thought of a better ending where the guy who's supposed to win lands first, and then what is Khali doing? Guys, what is, instead of just going around and beefing the Undertaker after coming out, for some reason Khali just climbs up the cage, which by the way, the Undertaker is not in anymore, and he just I don't even know, just doesn't. You know what? Respect, go off, King. Respect to you. Taker leaves. Gets on his knees, and I swear to God, he looks to the sky and just he's asking for forgiveness for his sins, because his biggest sin was being a part of this match. Worst pay-per-view big match ever. You can definitely say it's a big match. If you were alive at the time, you knew how much they pushed this, how much this meant. This match had so much promotion. I wouldn't say this match had hype, but definitely a lot of promotion. This was 20 minutes. This match was 20 minutes. This match is so bad that Dave Meltzer, yes, Dave Meltzer gave it a -1 star.
Damn.
How in the blue hell do you get a -1 star? Don't you just get a star for participation? Well, makes sense. One of the guys didn't even participate. Absolutely disgusting. And this was with the Big Show. Imagine if Khali wrestled. It would have been -4 stars. Alright, so the show's been asked. Khali didn't even wrestle. Half of the matches got changed up. Khali showed up, didn't wrestle, just climbed up a cage and went rah. Big Show had the worst performance of his career, and then he decided to like pray to the sky for.
Big Show's whole career is terrible. That ain't the worst performance of his career. That's just one of. His whole career has been terrible. Hell, you talk about.
some reason after his match. What could possibly make this night worse? Well, how about you and your family, your immigrant family, sitting together and watching a bra and panties match?
Hey, that ain't
My
bad.
grandma watching Edge and Lita get it on was less awkward than this. How do you even explain this to your parents? Yeah, mom, dad, we're just gonna have to watch this wrestling match.
You some freaky ass
Like, the only
nigga.
way they can win is by taking their opponent's clothes.
Is that Jillian?
What are we doing here? My mom was just like, oh, so this is the type of wrestling you watch. Meanwhile, my dad, like, he wants to look. I know he wants to look, but he can't look too much or else my mom's gonna eye him down. Meanwhile, on the screen, it's just all... Nah, it was so awkward. I'm pretty sure my dad at one point was like, I got the bed to bathroom. Oh, I just realized why it went to the back. You know what? Let's just wrap this video up. I can't lie to you guys, this was the most awkward thing in my childhood, because when you had bikini contests and other bra and panties matches on Raw and SmackDown, you could change the channel, right? Change the channel, pretend like nothing happened. Oh, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I feel like watching SpongeBob for like 2 minutes now. Yeah. But on pay-per-view, when you paid for this,
Not me.
I was too scared to change.
Not me. Shit, these matches come on. I'll watch it. I don't give no fuck.
You some freaky ass nigga. You some freaky ass nigga. You some freaky ass nigga.
I don't give no fuck shit. These on, I'm on. Especially Jillian. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Jillian had them titties, boy. I ain't gonna lie. Out of all the white women, out of all the white women in WWE, Jillian was the only one that had me like, yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. Jillian was the only, out of all the white women in WWE, Jillian was the only one that had me thinking to myself.
I'm just talking about that one comment, 2 comments that people can't hold back. Don't let your thoughts win. Don't let your gooner thoughts win.
I'm just saying. Jillian Hall was the only one, bruh. The only one. The one and only. I ain't gonna, I've never been attracted to any other white woman. Not no Trish Stratus. Well, Mickey James, but I don't. Ain't Mickey James mixed? I believe Mickey James mixed, so I don't think she counts. But Jillian Hall though.
Lie detector tested.
Tell you, dog. Jillian Hall, bro, the only one.
Put your pussy lips on live, I'll give you $1,000.
Change the channel, because I thought if I change the channel, what if when I come back, the pay-per-view feed is gone. But yeah, great memory watching a bra and panties match with my parents. Amazing, just fantastic memories. It was then time for another match that was changed. Batista versus Mr. Kennedy. So originally this was supposed to be Batista versus Mark Henry, but remember, God hates the Great American Bash, so Mark Henry got injured a week ago, Kennedy got thrown in there, and well, let's just have Batista beat the hell out of Kennedy for 7 minutes, get disqualified, and call it a day. Cause yeah, you know, that's what I order pay-per-views for. Batista, who I can't lie, looked like such a demon. I was such a Batista fan at this point. He just comes out there and squashes Kennedy. He sends him to the afterlife. Kennedy actually needed 20 plus stitches after this. So you know what? Thank you for your service, sir. But yeah, Batista, he couldn't even get the 1, 2, 3, which I was like, really? Even watching this now, it's like, really? Just let him have the 1, 2, 3. I get why they didn't. It was still cool to see Batista just destroy him as a kid, but it was definitely very unsatisfying. But I get why they did it. But nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing was more unsatisfying than the main event of this show. Rey Mysterio versus King Booker for the world title. Going into the show, as much as I talked about the Punjabi prison match, I was definitely excited for this match, and the main reason was, well, it was 2006 Rey Mysterio. I was 8 years old. What more do I even say? I swear on everything, on God, on Jah, going into this match, I thought there was no way ever, like it was impossible that Rey was losing. I genuinely thought it was impossible. It was Rey Mysterio against King Booker. Nah, no way. I vividly remember me, all my friends, all the other kids at summer camp, not one of us thought Booker had a chance. This was the year of Rey Mysterio, and looking back at it, we see how he was booked, and it's very disappointing. But back in the day, I didn't notice that. To me, I'm like, hey, he's still a champion, he's still doing his thing, he's not losing to King Booker. So for me though, I'm not gonna lie, as bad as this pay-per-view was, as bad as it was while I was watching it, even going into it, I kind of knew this probably wasn't gonna be the best show. If Rey retained here, I would have been more than happy. And to me, that was the guarantee of the show. Until I saw Booker's special entrance. Yeah, I can't lie, I got pretty shook after that. But Rey and Booker had a great match, and the funny thing is, I went back to find online predictions for this show. Yeah, everyone and their mom had King Booker winning. Of course, because what did I know as a kid? But now, this match was a great match. Booker was moving in a way that he hadn't moved since like, what, 2003? And these two were low-key going crazy. 06 Rey Mysterio pulling out some awesome moves, and the reversals from Booker were top tier. And when Booker did the Three Amigos on Rey Mysterio, now that is a very good spot.
Yeah.
When I look back at this time, I wish I was a little older to appreciate King Booker, because as a kid, obviously I hated him, I despised him, thought it was boring, cringe, stupid, all that, right? But looking back, he was hilarious.
No, King Booker was top tier. That was a top tier heel.
Charmel was in her bag. We got ref bumps. Rey was wrestling like his legacy was on the line. And we were just a short 1, 2, 3 away from Rey Mysterio winning and saving this pay-per-view for little 8-year-old Pav. But why would we get that? Why the hell would we get that when we can get this instead?
Ooh, chavo. Chavo, todo
Chavo, the most useless nephew in the history of nephews, breaks every kid's heart and screws over Rey Mysterio. King Booker gets the 1, 2, 3 and the Great American Bash. Yes, the Great American Bash. After 4 matches got changed, after a Bra and Patties match, after being just so damn boring, ends with Chavo Guerrero costing Rey Mysterio the World Heavyweight Championship and sending 8-year-old Pav to sleep,
we want the gold,
out of
sucker.
his
Hulk
mind.
Hogan, we
Ladies
coming
and
for you,
gentlemen, this
nigga.
was such a sad ending, such a heartbreaking ending, because, okay, looking back at it, it was so obvious that Chavo was going to turn on him, but I didn't think that was going to happen back in the day. I didn't think that was possible. It was just so heartbreaking, being that young, convincing your parents to spend money on this show, staying up and watching it, just to see Rey Mysterio get cooked like this. I'm pretty sure I cried that night. This was the second worst day of my life. The first worst day of my life was also in 2006. But nah, this hurt. It would have hurt 10 times less if I just waited until SmackDown and found out on that. But nah, here I was, after convincing my parents to spend money, here I was at 10:30 p.m. in the living room, just depressed. And as the show went off the air, all you hear is, "Oh, hail King Booker."
We want the gold, sucker.
$35. I said it 100 times. I'll say it one more. $35. I still can't believe. I can't believe what I was thinking. What a different time. Imagine if the network hadn't come out and the pay-per-view model continued post 2014. Imagine buying Hell in a Cell 2019 for $40. There would have been protests outside of Titan Towers.
Facts.
This is, when we look back at these old shows, it's such a different time, and it's like, you got to remember, people were spending their hourly day's work almost on these shows back then. And that was the risk. That was the risk of buying pay-per-views, spending hard-earned money and getting something like this. In this day and age, you're not going to cancel your Peacock or your Netflix because a pay-per-view is boring. You don't care. First of all, there's so much other content on there. Second, it's $10, $15, whatever, man. It's all good. But back then, when you only got to watch 2 to 3 a year and you ordered something like this, it hurt. It genuinely hurt.
It would,
spending
bro.
hard-earned money, and all you see is Chavo Guerrero screw Rey Mysterio in a match that you thought.
It would. That's why I only chose the big pay-per-views, bro. Whenever I asked my mom for the to watch a pay-per-view, only asked for the big ones: WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble. It was the only 3. The only 3 I go for. And then when we finally got internet in the house and I started finding out about the websites that had the shit for free, oh, it was over after that. It was over after that. When Twitch used to be Justin.tv and they used to have all the shows on there for free until they started flagging them. Then we started going over to these other websites and stuff like that. It was plenty of other websites. I think Ustream at one point. Y'all remember Ustream? Of course, y'all too young to remember Ustream. Ustream was goated. It was so many places to go. Now it's easy to get it now. There's so many websites out here now. It's so many websites out here now. It don't take no time to find a wrestling based website that lets you watch wrestling live events for free. I got so many websites I don't even know what to do with.
It was impossible for Ray to lose. What a wild time. And I guess fun fact, guess what the minimum wage was back in 2006 where I lived? It was actually $7.75. So my parents, to pay for the show, worked in a factory doing hard labor, slaved away for almost 5 hours just to pay for this. And this is what I got. A show so bad that their son never watched again, even though he taped it, never watched again. Easily the worst show I have ever ordered. Easily. But for all the unks out there that have also are old enough to have ordered a show back in the day, let me know down below, what is the worst show you ever ordered? What is the one pay-per-view that for some reason you asked your parents to order, for some reason you were hyped and excited, and then you watched it, and then you were just like, all right, well, I hate my life, because now I'm not going to be able to order SummerSlam.
I ain't never, like I said, I've only ordered the big ones, the ones that matter. SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, that's it. It was the only 3 I needed. I need to see who won the Royal Rumble. I need to see WrestleMania. And I need to see SummerSlam. It was the only 3. I didn't care for any other ones. And by like 2008, like 2007, 2008, I started finding out about them free sites. So shit, it was over from there. So yeah, that was it for me.
Let me know down below, what is the worst pay-per-view show you ever ordered? It's your boy Pav, aka Wrestling Gives. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'll be back on the weekend with some SummerSlam recap videos. We'll talk about the modern product a little bit on the weekend. You know, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys very soon. Comment down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.
Alright, man. So basically, WWE fucked y'all over. Cause I don't remember this pay-per-view. I don't remember this pay-per-view at all. I around 06, I really wasn't watching. I was not tapped in with. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't really tapped in with SmackDown because Batista was injured for the most part. Then when he finally came back, that's when I was tapped in. But I forgot about this one. This was the one when he came back. So basically WWE fucked y'all out of the money, bruh. I hope they only charge y'all like $25 to $20 for this, because ain't no way if they charge y'all $40 for $40. If they charge you $40 for this, $40 fucking dollars, bro.
$40.
If they actually charge y'all $40 for this, they was laughing in y'all face bad. They was after y'all face bad. Wasn't gonna get me though. Was not gonna get me.
You can't fool a real nigga. You can fool them. You can fool the people that are not paying attention.
But anyway, so I'm just gonna about do it for this one, man. I'll see you on the next video. Till then, bye.